Yesterday, somebody asked me about entrepreneurship. They were saying they not really a risk taker, so something like that wouldn't really be for them. And I'm like, I understand, because entrepreneurship is really you just finding yourself, honestly. It's very lonely. The grind very lonely. You don't know when it's going to end. You just have the belief that it will. And the ending is in terms of the struggle of it. You know what I mean? The struggle of, making a name for yourself within yourself. You know what I mean? Because you start realizing as you continue to go that this game is really just about who gave up and who didn't. It ain't about who was the best, who had the best product and this and that. And it's just about who kept going and who just stopped and said, I'm not going to be able to do it. And I was telling them, it's literally like you're just walking down a dark tunnel, but you got belief that, there's something at the end waiting for you, And when you get to the end, there's everything you ever wanted. You know what I mean? There's openings, there's opportunities, there's better. Stuff is just better at the end, but you got to get to the end. Some people stop in the middle and think they could just turn around, or they'd rather just stay right there and say, I don't know. Maybe I'll just sit here and hope for something to happen. And the select few that keep going, keep walking towards the end, they start realizing certain things. Because throughout the tunnel, you start finding out a lot of stuff about yourself. And a lot of people don't like that. Those thoughts start to come in man, what am I even doing? Am I even cut out for this? Am I even able to do something like this? And it gets to that point where now you got to start thinking okay, what should I do? How long is this going to take? You know what I mean? So now what you do is you fall in love with the process. When you fall in love with the process, you start seeing the progress. You start seeing things you're getting better at. You start seeing your mind work in different ways. You start realizing what needs to be cut out for you to get to this goal, for you to start making things happen. Along my journey, I started cutting things out that I probably never would have cut out if I was under somebody's roof just getting money every Friday. It wouldn't have been any reason for me to cut anything out, because I'm just getting fed. It's what's the point? I'm cool. Got everything, I'm fine. But now, when you're the CEO, when you take full control of your life, you got to understand what needs to be erased. You got to start seeing what the common world says is okay for you to do versus what you start seeing is affecting your thought patterns, your thinking waves. You start seeing what is affecting your creativity. Things of that nature got to be cut out. And you got to make that call. And that's why I say as you walk down the tunnel, you start figuring out who you really are. Fighting certain urges, certain temptations that you probably wouldn't have needed to fight that much if you was actually just working a job, just getting money every Friday. You're doing fine. Because you don't really see what needs to be changed when you win it. When you lose it, it's you got to put everything on the table. But if you can win and still evaluate, now you got action. Now you got action. When you're winning and you're still looking to see what can be corrected, now you got action. But that's what entrepreneurship is. So the person said they're not a risk taker. I understand. That's cool. We are taking risk every day, but at the same time, that's a different kind of risk, putting all your chips in one basket. A lot of people don't really have the wherewithal to do that. They don't really have the wherewithal to roll the dice because their stress management level is very low. The worry, the fear, and doubt is very, very high. So it's not easy for them to just relax and focus. It takes a lot. It takes a whole lot. So that's why they say certain people just aren't entrepreneurs. It ain't because it's just the toughest task in the world. It's really not. It's just about your level of stress management. It's really that simple. It's really your level of stress management. Constantly worried, constantly fearful and doubtful, it's not going to happen. You ain't even going to last in the tunnel. You're going to try to turn back around. Then you're going to realize, dang, I done walked all this far, and I got to turn right back around. Some people say, I done walked all this far, I got to keep going. And those are the ones that break through. So entrepreneurship is truly just about who's going to keep going. That's it. It's not the hardest thing in the world. It's really not. I really don't consider anything in this world as like hard, because everything is just simply who's going to quit, who's going to stop in the middle, who's going to keep going. There's so many things revealed when you keep going. So many answers you didn't think you had or you didn't think could be found until you keep going. You keep going, you start revealing things about yourself. Once you reveal things about yourself, more doors open. And then you start to see what works and what doesn't. But if you expecting it to happen at this time and it don't happen at this time, so now you're like, what am I even doing this for? Then you turn back around, it just feels like it was all for nothing. And it gets to a point where pride is a good thing. Because when you travel in a lonely road and you grinding, walking down a dark tunnel, your pride has to tell you, I'm not turning back around. I done came this far, I'm not turning back around. I don't even care if you took 2 steps. That's when your pride got to come in. That's when pride is good. That's when pride is like, I need to stay here and finish this. I started this walk. I started this journey. I need to finish this. Whoever's at the end of the tunnel with me, cool. Whoever ain't, F them. Straight up. That's how it got to be. As simple as that. So when they say entrepreneurship ain't for everybody, that's what they mean. Everybody ain't willing to take criticism. Everybody ain't willing to look like a fool to get what they want. Everybody ain't willing to do that. You can put all your chips in one basket. It's like a big bet on FanDuel. You know what I'm saying? It's like a huge bet on FanDuel, like a parlay. Some people ain't willing to throw all the chips in. Some people are. Some people willing to lose. Some people not. It's that simple. So you got to figure out who you want to be. That's all it is. But it's a lot revealed when you walk down that dark tunnel. Once you figure out who you are, figure out what you're capable of, and those are the legs your business stands on.